I thank the gentleman and my friend from Pennsylvania and to comment on my Democrat colleagues' comments that they're just trying to build America back better. Nobody in the United States of America in their right mind believes that what's happening in this country, the disastrous economic policies, the spike in crime in the neighborhoods from sea to shining sea, the chaos that burns out of control at the border, believes that you're trying to make America better. And I associate myself with the comments of Representative Roy from the Lone Star State. It is absurd for us to be mandating and restricting the American people when we have hundreds of thousands of people pouring into this country. And in the last 2 weeks, we had a 900% increase in COVID-positive people illegally crossing our sovereign border into the United States. We can't take anybody seriously, not the president, and with all due respect, not our colleagues who think they're trying to make our country better, stronger, and safer. That's just absurd. It's ridiculous. I can hardly get through my comments about the appropriations on account of some of this rhetoric that is empty. It is absolutely hollow in the ears of those who hear it, who live on the border, and who are experiencing the devastating effects, not the least of which are the poor, vulnerable people who are coming over here and paying a high price by the cartels who we, because of the policies of this administration, are enriching and empowering every day. I rise in strong opposition and great concern as a result of the proposed massive and irresponsible spending bills that reflect, Mr. Speaker, the Democrats' insatiable desire to expand the federal government beyond recognition, not only of our founders, but of our citizens here today, and to once again jam through their partisan priorities. These spending levels are beyond fiscally unsustainable. They're going to push us to the brink of bankruptcy and to a place where we can see the sovereign debt crisis from the precipice upon which we stand. We won't be able to print money or borrow to bail out of that crisis, Mr. Speaker. American families have worked hard. They've made sacrifices, tightening up their belts, and meanwhile, and by the way, dealing with the everyman tax of inflation while our Democrat colleagues continue to push these massive spending bills. It is completely irresponsible. It's unbelievable that my Democrat colleagues would ask the American people for a 21% pay raise, $100 billion. The White House wants a 40% pay raise for the crime spike, for the chaos at the border, for the inflation, for the fact that their policies have locked people into unemployment, and the policies they're proposing will trap them in poverty for the rest of their lives and generations to follow. I need another minute.
Mr. Speaker, I'd like to yield my good friend an additional minute.
Gentleman's recognized for an additional 1 minute.
Mr. Speaker, aside from the insulting disregard for our national debt, for our children and grandchildren, this is the greatest threat. It's not the existential threats. It is our insatiable appetite to expand the government's power, and the cost associated. But if these bills, these supposed funding bills, are enacted, here are the policies that will follow. Abortion providers will be funded, and abortion. And the abortion manufacturers that terminate unborn children at a rate of almost 1,000 a day. Allow illegal immigrants to receive our tax dollar financial aid and federal employment. What a disrespect to the law-abiding American citizens. Choke out our ag and energy producers with extreme environmental policies, disrupt the supply chain, undermine our ag and energy independence. The list is too long, Mr. Speaker. Give contraceptives to students without parental knowledge, fund sex changes at the VA. These are the priorities. These are the values reflected in the budget of my colleagues. Mr. Speaker, this is a radical reimagination of government's role in the life of its citizen and a drastic departure from America's values and interests. And I oppose it. I pray to God I can get a Democrat to oppose it. I doubt it. And Mr. Speaker, I yield back. Thank you.